welcome to a day in the life of sustainable farming. Today, we are going to be taking you through a crucial management routine operation that you must carry out on that your commercial plantain field, and it is the application of manure. In this video, we are going to be looking at all the technicalities, all you need to know as regards application of manure to that your commercial plantain field. I know you might be wondering, isn't it just spreading the manure around the plantain plant and then you have a good result? No, it goes beyond that. So we are going to be looking at the right manure for you to use, how to properly apply this manure the right way in order to get the right result. What are some of the things you have to pay attention to even before you make your application? So these things are things we are going to be looking at in this video, and a whole lot more of other things you are going to be seeing and learning from. So before we go any further, if this is your first time coming across this channel, Chidav Agricultural Hub, all you need to do real quick is punch on that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, and do well to give this video a big thumb up. So let's dive into this video. Peace. So guys, how do you tell which manure is right and which manure is wrong? The right manure is simple. You want to get a manure that is fully decomposed. Like we have here, these guys are fully decomposed. It doesn't smell. Okay, so when a manure is not smelling, you know that it is fully decomposed. Okay, it feels like soil. As you can see, it feels like soil. The next question is, what if I cannot get this kind of manure? Then the next kind of manure you want to ensure you get is a manure that is properly dried up. We want to ensure that it is not a manure that is undergoing decomposition. All right, decomposition meaning there will be presence of maggots in them, boring and trying to break down the organic matter within the manure. So you want to ensure that maggot is absent from the manure you are going to be using. The reason why you want to ensure you are using a manure that has properly undergone decomposition is because of the fact that the ones that still have maggots in them or undergoing decomposition has a high tendency of introducing pathogens into your field, and you don't want a situation where, because you want to apply nutrient to your plant, you then go ahead to introduce pathogen to your plant, and you would eventually introduce what will infest on the plant and eventually destroy your field. You do not want any of that. So you want to go for a manure that has undergone decomposition. This is a good example of manure that has undergone decomposition. Zero smell. It doesn't smell. Okay, so we refer to this is what we refer to as compost. Okay, a manure that is already decomposed. That another reason why you have to get the right manure, or you need to get this manure that is already or fully decomposed, is because this manure at this state now, the nutrient in this manure is readily available, meaning that it has been broken down to the form that once you apply it, the plant can easily absorb the nutrient in this manure. So that is why we always advise that you use this manure, because this will give you a very, very good result, because the nutrients are readily available and your plant can easily uptake them. So first thing first is getting the right manure. Then the next thing is what I am going to be showing you. So stay tuned. Peace. Then the second thing you have to ensure you do next is to have a properly cleared field. It is very important before you start your manure application for you to have a very cleared field. Never ever go into application of manure on a weedy field. Reasons why you want to avoid weed is you want a situation where only your plant, your cultivated plant, planted in this situation, is getting access to the nutrient that will be supplied from the manure you are going to be applying. So you have to ensure that you have a neat field like we have here. You have to ensure the field is thoroughly and properly cleared. Okay, now the next question you might want to ask is, how then do we even go about with the application of this manure? Because there are certain things you have to pay attention to in order to get very good results. We are diving in real quick, and you are going to be seeing all of this. And if you haven't still subscribed yet, all you need to do right now is to punch on that subscribe button, share this video to that person that wants to apply manure on his field. Let him learn how to properly do it. So guys, let's dive in and see the proper way of applying manure to a plantain plant. During your planting operation, you must ensure that you have a little bit of hollow, okay, a little bit of hollow space in the hole. Now this will ensure that when this manure is being applied as it is now, okay, when this manure is being applied, that the hole where your plant is growing forth from has a bit of space in it that would allow for the manures to stay. So this would discourage any form of leaching off of this nutrient from this plant. So when it rains eventually, you are definitely going to have the nutrients available within this plant hole. So that is the first thing you must pay attention to. And when do you have this hollow space? During planting. And that is why all these things must start from your planting phase. Ensure the hole is properly dug. And then you want to also ensure that you have that hole that will then allow your manures to fit in properly to discourage leaching of your nutrient. The next thing you want to ensure you do is that you don't have weeds around your plant. Okay, you must ensure that the weeds are taken off, all right, before they get to apply the manure on the plant. Take it off and then you apply. Okay, welcome back guys. So the question we get always is, how often should we apply manure on a commercial planting field? So this is it. What we do is we do the application on a monthly basis to ensure that the environment where your plants are growing are nutrient filled. Make sure your field is weed free. You apply your manure consistently on a monthly basis. Okay, you have the time of the month where you do the application, but it should be on a monthly basis. And if you do this throughout the growth phases of this your plantain plant, you are definitely going to get quality results from your plantains. You are going to get bunches that are super competitive in the market, that has way comparative advantage over other bunches that be coming in. And that is why sometimes you see certain bunches looking very small, and then you see another one looking very big. Those big ones sometimes is not all about the variety. You might have the best variety, and if you don't manage your field well, you are going to get poor yield. Once you follow a monthly routine manure application, it allows the plant to have access to quality nutrients on a monthly basis, and it then gives the variety that you have cultivated the opportunity to grow to its optimal, meaning you are going to have very, very good yield that you can now sell for a very good price at the market. The whole essence is to have a good yield. So why not apply manure and get quality yield? So you have to ensure you take it seriously. Sometimes you do a combination of inorganic and manure. Okay, depends on what you want and then what you have available at your location. So what we are currently using here is a decomposed manure. Like I said, you have to get the right manure, you then apply rightly. So if you are doing a combination of maybe about 30% inorganic and 70% organic, you are also going to get very, very good yield at the end of the day. So when you do this combination of these two, I tell you guys, your field, the yield, the bunches are going to be massive. You don't want to joke with your commercial plantain field. So invest right, manage your field right, and at the end of the day, you will be glad at what you are going to be getting, because when you take it to the market, it commands greater market price, commands greater demand, it commands greater market value. Okay, then you as the owner of the produce, you have the upper bargaining power over the buyers, because you have a quality yield that they cannot get elsewhere. So that is why you have to take your management practices very seriously. We're talking about business here. Money is garbage in, garbage out. If you manage your field well, you are definitely going to get quality results at the end of the day. So why aren't you doing the right thing? Come on, do the right thing and get the right results. Another thing you must pay critical attention to when you want to apply your manure to your plant is timing. Timing of the application. I cannot overemphasize this. You don't just apply your manure anytime. Okay. You have to be very, very specific at when you want to apply your manure. So I'll just give you a little tip. The best time to apply your manure is immediately after it rains. Okay. If it rains today, then apply your manure tomorrow. Why this is the best time to do it is going to ensure that your manure is not leached. Okay. But in our own situation and then the way we've already structured the planting, we won't be having issue of leaching. But in this situation, if you are applying the manure a day after it rains, it means that the soil will still be very, very moist. And it is only in the presence of a moist soil that your plants are able to absorb nutrients. If you did a bit of soil science, did a bit of soil chemistry, you understand where the nutrients or cations are being exchanged between the plant root and the soil. It is through a moist soil or a moist medium that your nutrients are being absorbed by your plant. Okay. So it's only when the soil is moist that the nutrient can be absorbed. So what that means is if you are applying the manure when everywhere is hard, your soil is super hard, or during the drought season, your plants ain't going to have access to the nutrients because it needs a moist medium. Adibe, you did a bit of soil chemistry and I would have gone deeper into what we refer to as the cation exchange and all of that. But we're not going to technical. Let's just explain it the basic way possible. Okay, so you are definitely going to have, your nutrient being exchanged or being absorbed by your plant in a moist medium. Okay, so if the soil is moist, then you apply your nutrient, or you can also apply and then irrigate during the drought season, or you can fertigate your field, using soluble nutrient to then apply directly into the plant. So all these are means you can use to apply your manure into your plant. Okay, through what we refer to, you can soak your manure also and then you fertigate it into directly through your irrigation into the plant. You can do all this, but the best time, if you are depending solely on rainfall, it has to be immediately after it rains. Then you apply your manure. This allows the manure to be properly absorbed by your plant. So the timing is key. The right timing ensures that you get the right result at your farm. Peace. After you've considered all of these factors, then you have to go into the application of the manure proper. So during the application of the manure, you have to supervise and ensure that they are applying it rightly. And why you need to also use a decomposed manure is that it's not harsh. It's not harsh on the plant and it's not corrosive. So you can allow your manure come in contact with your plantain stems. It's not going to harm it, it's not going to burn it because it's not corrosive and it is already decomposed. It is readily available to the plants as long as the soils are moist. Guys, we have come to the end of this video and you have to, as a matter of fact, do your manure application the right way so that you get the right result. You follow the techniques and observe all that needs to be observed during the application processes. Once you follow this routine, you follow all the guidelines, you are definitely going to get a very healthy soil and a healthy plantain plant at the end of the day. And the whole essence of doing this is so that you get quality yield at the end of the day. So these are things you have to do in order to get quality results. So guys, if you haven't still subscribed to this channel just yet, all you need to do real quick is punch on that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so that you get notified when new videos drop. Also, do well to like this video, give it a thumb up, and we would catch you in another of our video. For now, peace.